AITA for calling my brother-in-law an arrogant snob and arsehole for not respecting my boyfriend and not wanting to pay him for his work. I, 32 female, have been with my boyfriend, 34 male, for almost 7 years now. My sister, 34 female, got married about a year ago to her long-term boyfriend, 36 male. Shortly after my sister got married, she became pregnant with my little nephew. About 3 months after he was born, Bill asked my boyfriend, who is a mechanic, to check his car. He happily agreed, ordered new parts, and it took about 3 hours to do the whole service and renew everything necessary. All went fine. They had fun chatting a bit, and we agreed to meet for coffee the Sunday afterwards. On Saturday, my sister called me to ask how much they owe to my boyfriend for the work. I told her I would ask and got back to them with a text saying that the total would be €150. For comparison, if Bill would have went to a car shop, he would have paid around €900. A few minutes later, my sister calls me, telling me that this amount is ridiculous and that Klaus is fuming as he expected not to pay anything, but the parts. I'm super confused and tell her that the guys should talk directly to each other to figure this out. So we hang up and me and my boyfriend have time to get super pissed about their behavior. For the greater context, you need to know that my Bill always made clear that he doesn't like my boyfriend, saying mean things about this blue-collar clothes, family, hairstyle, music taste, etc. My sister always made sure to tell me about those comments, forcing me to stand between the sides. So I repeatedly ask her to stop this and accept that he is the man making me happy. Anyway, my boyfriend was willing to again swallow his pride, give up on the money, and to talk like a normal family when visiting them and the baby the next day. The next morning arrives and I'm texting my sister at what time we should come over. She just replied, "As long as this isn't sorted out, we should not visit them." This is when I lost it and started to cry, as I cannot understand why I'm being punished for this by not being allowed to see my little nephew, who I love to death and was looking forward to see all week. So my boyfriend called Bill in my defense, telling him that this is unacceptable and that they don't have to get along, but there is no need to be mean to me about this. Bill just laughed it off. Then sister calls me and I, in my anger and frustration, tell her that she should know we don't care about money, but it's unfair to expect everything for free because we are family when at any other occasion they don't accept us being a couple. I tell her she shouldn't have let this get between me and her, and I admit it, called Bill an arrogant and snobbish arsehole. Just when she started calling my live primitive, I hang up and we have not spoken since. As you can imagine, there is quite a backstory here, but that would be too much for one post. So far, regarding this situation itself, AITA, NTA, your brother-in-law will have car trouble again. And when that happens, he can pay your boyfriend the €900 shop rate for his previous trouble or never get family help again. On to story 2. AITA for not going to my brother's wedding? This is a bit of a multifaceted issue, so I'll try and break down the history of all involved briefly. I, 43 male, and my wife, 42 female, have been married since high school, over 20 years. Initially, my parents and wife had a great relationship. There was some falling out 10 years ago between my wife and parents. Parents overstepped, said some things. That relationship has since been repaired somewhat. Basically, we all get along for the sake of the kids/grandkids. We have 3 daughters together, all teens or older now. There's been no bad blood, really. My wife will tolerate them and be as nice as she needs to be, and I don't fault her for it at all. I'm always on her side. I limit the parents visiting to once a year. Retaking control has definitely soured my mother a bit, but she does a good job hiding it. Over the years, I've moved around a bit for my job. We are now where we are going to call home in the Pacific Northwest. My family lives in the Midwest. It's not really drivable if you're trying to make a short trip. We gotta save the date from my brother and a fiancé we've never met. Now there's about a week between my wife and I's anniversary and my birthday. The wedding date was the day before my birthday. I was a bit WTF about that, but brushed it off. Backstory on my brother. Good guy, quiet, oblivious to anyone not in his bubble. He is in his mid-30s. In 20 years, he's never sent any of his nieces a birthday or Christmas present, card, text, anything. Fast forward to a month after the invitation last year, my parents visit. They ask if I'll be coming to the wedding. I said I doubt it, but if I could swing it, we would be there, emphasis on we. Over the next few months, my folks, not my brother, would ask if I was coming. I'd say we were not sure. It's a lot of money to swing with my youngest about to turn 16 and I planned to buy her car. They would offer to pay for my ticket. Never mentioned our ticket. I insisted that if it was happening, we'd pay our way. I didn't give them an answer until about a month before the wedding. I told them we couldn't swing it between tickets, a rental, hotel, food, wedding clothes. We're looking at easily $4,000. Now, while that part is true, I could have swung it, but had no interest in spending my birthday making myself and wife miserable sitting at a wedding for someone who's never done anything for our family. I sent home $100 in a card for his wedding, took that $4,000 and put it towards my kid's first car. My kids slipped and told Grandma the week after the wedding that Mom and Dad are gone for the weekend. We went on a little getaway, just a few hours from home for the weekend. Now I'm being told I'm selfish and only think of myself. They are very disappointed, etc. My wife is upset, insisting she'll be blamed. I never mince words and have told my parents it had nothing to do with my wife and wanted to spend that money on my kid and not my brother. AITA, YTA. When you're invited to a major event, your obligation is to RSVP clearly, yes or no, reasonably quickly. Your passive-aggressive, I'm not sure, was a jerk move. Not RSVPing until a month before the event was a jerk move. Odds are they had to pay down for food by then. Being proud that you never mince words is a jerk move. That's not actually a character strength. It's code for not having the skills to both express yourself and not hurt other people at the same time. If you had this to do over again, I'd encourage you to get the invite, and within a couple of weeks send an RSVP response. Congratulations. We won't be able to make it, but I hope it's a great day.